self-prescribed. There is nobody else that is coming to punish me. Yeah, so karma phalam, whatever I have gone through, whatever I have experienced, that is karma phalam. And that is self-prescribed, means I have done it. Now we have to go deeper into the understanding, how have I done it? So the verses ahead explain karmic debt at 2 levels. Karmic debt is not you do a bad action, so bad karma comes my way, do a good action and good karma comes my way. No, it's not that simple. That was okay at the Dvaitam level, where I did not have an understanding that I am Turiya, the fourth, or I am the witness of the waker, dreamer and deep sleeper. Now, on the path of non-duality, Advaita Vedanta, I understand I am the fourth. So now I go deeper into the understanding, then how can karmic debt be accrued? How does this happen? So far we did that avidya tattva is the ignorance aspect within, and that ignorance aspect, when it is dominant, there is karmic accrual. Now we'll understand at what levels is karma accrued. Verse 109. Avidya Tattva thrives on karmic debt, the ignorance of its nature of omnipresence is Turiya's primary karmic debt. Self-deception due to the false waker, dreamer, sleeper identification is Turiya's secondary karmic debt. So now there are 2 levels of karmic debt that have accrued. The first level is where I ignored my nature of omnipresence. What is omnipresence? I am always there. It's not that I am just the waker's body limited to the waking state. I am continuously there. I am the witness of the waker. I am the witness of the dreamer. I am the witness of the sleeper. So I am omnipresent, continuously present as the changeless background. I chose to forget my omnipresence and I took on the identity, an individual identity, just the identity, I am. That's it. That's the primary karmic debt. In pure consciousness, there is no I-ness. In pure consciousness, there is nothing like I, because the moment there is an I, immediately there is a you. Yeah. So, that division begins where? The moment I forget my nature of omnipresence and I choose to be I. The moment I choose to be I have already created a subtle divide. There is a you. Even if I have just come out of the deep sleep and there is nothingness. So there is I standing there and there is nothingness. There is a subtle divide created. So this is the first level of duality that emerges out of the non-dual pure consciousness or non-dual Brahman. That is why it is Turiya's primary karmic debt. Primary is very clear, yeah, because the division is created just at the feeling of I. I do not have to yet project a you. I do not have to project the it. Yeah, that all manifestation happens later. Just the feeling, the sense of I. It separates me from something else and I create a something else out there. Yeah? So the subtle division that is created, that is Turiya's primary karmic debt. This is clear? Yeah? This is the primary level of ignorance. And ignorance is of its own omnipresent nature. It has forgotten it is unbroken awareness. What is unbroken awareness? Means the awareness is the shining luminous background of waking, dream and deep sleep. It has forgotten that it is that continuous shining unbroken awareness. It ignores its Turyatita nature. It overlooks its own supreme nature. Now by neglecting its own boundlessness, what happens? It confines itself, and it confines itself within experience. So the first debt or the primary debt is by the creation of I. The secondary debt is by the creation of you. The you is only a side product, a side effect of the disease called I. Yeah? This is the disease of self-deception. This is the disease of false identification. It just wanted to be something. And to be something, it projected the I first, primary debt, and then the you, secondary karmic debt. Then you know the game. Once the secondary debt has started accruing, what will happen? Then the I will say, I am this, I am that, I am rich, I am fat, I am tall, I am smart, I am intelligent, I am silly, I like this, I don't like this, this is my world, this is not my world, I like blah, 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 blah. This is what the secondary karmic debt brings. Is this clear? How this comes up? Yeah. Do you understand also why it is called secondary? Because now the I itself has identified I am the waker. The I has identified as I am the waker in this waking world. I the waker like this, I the waker don't like that. I. Yeah? So it's forgotten the changelessness and it has identified with the changing. It has forgotten the limitlessness and identified with the limited. Yeah, so every time Turiya brings itself to be the person, another debt is incurred. Okay? You should see like that. Every time I pretend to be the waker in any form, as the parent, as the spouse, as the friend, even as the spiritualist, the moment there is the identity and the ego, automatically I see karma phalam coming my way. Is that very clear? Yeah? This is explained in verse 110. Karmic debt accrues interest. A plethora of impressions, a profusion of delusion, a multitude of karmic dues. Yeah, these are all the karmic dues, all the waking people, events and objects. You think that you have attained something. Actually, it is nothing but interest, because anything I take from the waking, I will have to pay back. And in the paying back, there is dukkha. Yeah, because what does the ego want? The ego only wants to receive. The ego does not want to pay back. Observe that. There is this constant dukkha hidden in every karmic due. So you must investigate a little bit. Every little identification, I accrue interest. Every little doership ego coming up, I'm going to accrue interest. Every little experiencership coming up, I'm going to accrue some interest. Means what? I will have to pay that back. And a part of me does not like paying back. Recognize that. And that is dukkha. So, this is the clear explanation of how dukkha is there in all of samsara. Every reaction that I give will deposit one impression. Every little attachment that I have in this waking world, it will multiply impressions. Every resentment will become like an unpaid account. Every pleasure that I run behind, every pain that I resist, all of it will become a karmic due. Anywhere I have claimed me, mine, the karmic liability field gets enlarged. Yeah? And that is the plethora of impressions. That is the profusion of delusions. And I keep chasing one thing after another, one after another, one after another. Where can I receive more than giving? Where can I take more, give less? I keep chasing, and this creates more dukkha. Clear? So, avidya tattva, it bears samskara after samskara. Just like lava coming out, erupting out of a volcano. And the volcano is made of ignorance. And it is avidya tattva that is responsible. This eruption may temporarily subside, yeah, but don't be fooled. That molten lava beneath the surface is still there. Just because for a little bit that activity of the lava is not there, it does not mean that the source has become extinct. No. Become very clear. Everything comes in a certain flow. Flow has a season when it is meant to sprout. So it will come back my way. Now what is my job? To know there is possibility of a karmic due here. Can I stop pretending to be this waker and just stand as the witness? Please remember, this waker has a role to play in that scene. That role will continue in that scene. But if I am at a distance, detached, not involved with the waker, then I do not accrue that particular karma. Only one solution, standing at a distance and watching it like a movie. Now, this movie is playing. Why is it playing? Because of past karmic dues. Those dues are sprouting one after the other. Perception, sensation, thought, feeling. They are all made of ignorance. The material cause of a samskara is ignorance. So start seeing this very carefully. Whatever is appearing in front of me is nothing but samskara after samskara. After samskara. All impressions deposited because I forgot my nature and I pretend to be the waker. So I'll read the second paragraph. Avidya Tattva bears samskara after samskara, like lava relentlessly erupting out of the volcano of ignorance. The material cause of samskara is ignorance. Material cause? Simply, what is a samskara made of? The matter that a samskara is made of is ignorance. It's not merely an isolated memory. Samskara is a subtle residue. Residue of what? A residue of appropriation. Appropriation means I falsely assumed it to be me or mine. It is a false person created, and that false person claims this experience is mine, this doing is mine. That claim is depositing the samskara or impression. So it is made of ignorance. And where is this samskara all deposited? Where is it lying? In the avidya tattva. So if my avidya tattva is full of impressions, samskaras, there will just be one after another, one after another, one after another, perception, sensation, thought, feeling, constant bombardment coming my way. Its job is to test whether I lose my turiya stand and pretend to be the waker. Yeah? That is its job. If it succeeds, I forget I am turiya, I become Ekta, I become somebody in Ekta's world. I did this, I experienced this should be like this should not be like this. I become Ekta. If it fails, that means I stood at a distance. Whatever was happening in Ekta and Ekta's world was observed from a distance, as if playing on a movie screen. So, question for yourself, you must ask, do I see the waker's name, take the waker's name and the waker's world as a single screen on which images just appear, disappear, appear, disappear? Or am I constantly slipping in and pretending I am part of this movie? And can I clearly see every perception, sensation, thought or feeling that comes my way is nothing but samskara? Not just a deposited memory, but it is a residue of appropriation, where I had falsely claimed identification. Can I recognize that? That is the key here. We are not at the beginner level where we are just saying that yes, I slipped, or no, I stayed at a distance. We are identifying that what I slipped towards or for or against, that is a samskara itself. And it is that subtle residue of previous appropriation. Am I still continuing in that appropriation, or have I learnt to stay at a distance and not identify falsely? Yeah, so we've gone one level deeper. Understanding our own samskaras. Again, remember, there is no Ekta samskara. Ekta itself is a samskara. So our own samskara means turiya. Turiya's samskara. It's a collective samskara bag, let's say. that collective samskaras now need to be identified. And how do I identify? I know just by the perception, sensation, thought or feeling, whatever has appeared suddenly, I know this is a past claim. I recognize that familiar feeling. It has that past flavor. I know this flavor. It's not unfamiliar. Clear? And then we go to a deeper level of inquiry. I recognize this samskara. I know this flavor. And I know what my reaction to this particular samskara does. I know the whole proliferation. Can I learn to now withdraw? I have been here. I have seen this a zillion times. And I know it goes nowhere. Can I withdraw? What will withdrawing do? Withdrawing will make all these scenes appear very distant, not mine. You'll feel as if it's happening elsewhere. It's not happening to me. Even if the body is sick, you will feel that pain, that discomfort is elsewhere. It is not happening to me. Even if there is some major family chaos, some drama going on, you will be so zoomed out, you will feel it is happening elsewhere. It is not my family and the drama is not being experienced by me. So that happening elsewhere is the little proof for me to know that I have zoomed out or not. If that feeling is not there, that it's happening elsewhere, that means I did not successfully zoom out. I am not dispassionate in this particular scenario. Now please apply at your personal level. Wherever there is little family drama, wherever there is professional chaos, wherever with friends there is a little agitation happening. Observe all this. Can I maintain myself zoomed out? That's the only way I can dodge the karma. Otherwise, there is definite karmic debt. And remember, now you've learnt there is debt at 2 levels. If I got angry, primary debt, I forgot that I am that background that is self-luminous, that is peaceful, that is devoid of anger. So that is primary debt. Secondary debt, I pretended to be Ekta in this particular situation and I got angry. So now there are 2 levels of karmic debt that I am accruing in every little indulgence. So I start observing, what am I doing? I'm just creating a mess. And now I give the angry example, even if it is something very pleasant, enjoying with the family. Again, you have still forgotten that you're Turiya. You are beyond enjoyment. You are that equanimous background. So that is where is the primary debt. And the secondary debt is where I become the family member enjoying with the other family members. So you see, we are now recognizing, there are 2 levels of debt being accrued in every little spitfire and every little passionate moment. Can I just stay at a distance? And when you become an expert at staying at a distance, you will start noticing that these samskaras are not such that will surprise you anymore. Now you know it. Everything is known. Everything is known. When you become comfortable with the seeing that everything is known, now you are ready to accept that samskaras are nothing but the lava that is lurking below the surface of deep sleep. That is what the next verse explains to us. Verse 111. Deep sleep samskaras are karmic impressions born of avidya tattva or ignorance. Dream and waking perception, sensation, thoughts and feelings spring from the subsurface karmic reservoir of deep sleep. They are made of the same stuff as avidya tattva or ignorance. So now you will start recognizing that deep sleep is not merely the waker's body resting. No, the waker's body has disappeared. The waking world has disappeared. Means what? The waking samskaras have ended. Now there are only dream samskaras left. Then there will be just a few spurts here and there of dream samskaras. And they do not have such a strong hold on me the way the waking samskaras had. Yeah, this recognition becomes very real in your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana. Yeah, this is a Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana pointer. So you start seeing it comes from deep sleep. Deep sleep itself is not peaceful. Deep sleep is as if there is a volcano waiting to erupt. Yeah, so you feel at rest only for a little bit. And then even if you do not want, then also the sense of I is pushed out. Yeah, then you start recognizing that the sense of I didn't arise of its own accord. It was pushed out by the samskaras. Many times you say, no, I could have really enjoyed a little more of deep sleep. Wish I could sleep a little longer in deep sleep. Yeah. So it's not the desire of the I to always want this plethora of impressions and samskaras. No. The I also wants to rest. But it has only this much rest. It's eligible only for this much rest today. Along comes another samskara that says, okay, you were the one to have the fear of the tiger, therefore here you go. The first dream is running away from the tiger. Yeah? So you get the I gets kicked out of its beautiful deep sleep state and has to come into either a nightmare or a passionate dream or dream after dream after dream. And these are those samskaras coming out. This is a very real scene in your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana. You can actually see this. That at the causal level, deep sleep is nothing but the causal level. At the causal level, it's like there is an unmanifest reservoir full of karmic impressions. And these are like the lava. And these deep-seated samskaras or karmic impressions are then shot out by the avidya tattva. Why avidya tattva? Because avidya tattva says, I need an identity. I am somebody. I want to be somebody. That's why avidya tattva's job is to push out these samskaras. So now the poor eye has come to the dream. It doesn't want to dream that, but it is forced to dream that. So this is where your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana will start revealing to you that I do not want to dream. I am forced to dream. And slowly you will come to the recognition, I don't want to be the waker now anymore. I'm done. I've seen it all. I've understood. I don't want to be the waker, but I am forced to be the waker. How many of you have already started seeing this? Little bit. Yes, these glimpses have come up. Hey, then you start feeling I'm caged in this body. I am forced in this family situation, as if I'm forced in this work situation. I don't want to be with this social group and I am forced into this situation. Everywhere there is that feeling that I am forced, which was not there earlier. Earlier you were enjoying this waking world. Do you remember those days? Yeah. Ignorance was bliss, no? Now that you come to this recognition, no, I don't feel real, normal, happy, comfortable here. It means your Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana has revealed that to you. That you are forced out of the deep sleep, you are forced into a dream, you are forced out of a dream, you are forced into a waking situation, and you are forced out of a waking situation. Yeah? These are the karmic paybacks that I am now having to pay back, experience, go through. And they are just perceptions, sensations, thoughts and feelings, actually. Yeah? But they all create a situation. And that situation again seems to be so real. I'm doing my 100% effort to stand as Turiya, but they pull me again and again. That pull that you are feeling and not wanting to go back that you are feeling, that little tug of war that is going on, that is the karmic push and pull. It is a karmic debt. So I'm going to give you very important homework today. I spoke very generally. If you saw, I didn't speak at a very specific level. At a very simple, general level, I am speaking. But you recognize, you make an effort to see, I am indebted to the waking people, situation, things. Yeah, and this little push-pull that I'm feeling, this uncomfortable feeling, I don't want to be here and I'm forced to be here, that whole thing that I feel, that means payback may be in order. And once I pay back, can I recognize that the push and pull will soften, will quieten. I'll be able to stand as Turiya a little more longer, a little easier, a little more at peace. Yeah, so what do I do if payback is in order? I don't know, you would know. But if you have to give back materially, wherever there is material debt, please see that you give back. Make this week and the next 2 weeks, very important payback weeks. Yeah, wherever there is a material debt, pay it back. Wherever care was received, but you did not give back double amount of care. It doesn't matter whether it is friends or family. Don't distinguish, I will give back more to family and I'll give less to friends, or I'll give even less to colleagues. No distinction like that. Give back wherever care was received. Wherever somebody made a sacrifice for you, you have to express your gratitude in some way. Give back. I would not know, but you would know that this person did so much for me, that one did so much for me. Some sacrifice was made from their side silently. You were not even told what the sacrifice was. You could sense it, you could feel it. That is good enough. You have to express your gratitude back and be done with the payback. Yeah. Wherever deception occurred in the past, wherever Turiya forgot and became the waker and deceived somebody, now you have to give back honesty. I know this is hard. Sometimes you might have to go and confess something. However hard it is, take on this challenge for the next 2 weeks. I have to give back honesty wherever deception occurred through Turiya becoming the waker in the past. Why? If you have taken, you will have to give back. If you don't return it willingly, you know life will snatch it from you. Yeah? That will pinch more. So rather than that happening, willingly, voluntarily give back honesty. You know what I'm saying, right? Wherever deception occurred, you can do it in a nice, amicable way. I was young, I didn't know better. Can you forgive me? Yeah, whatever. Seek forgiveness, give back forgiveness if required. Come down to absolute honesty so that inside you feel pure. If you're feeling impure within, then naturally that pull, push will continue. You will not be able to rest as Turiya. Yeah. And wherever in the past you avoided or dodged responsibility, now you will have to give back through being responsible. Whatever it was, as the son, as the daughter, as the parent, as the teacher, as the friend, whatever was dodged, figure it out. I'm speaking at a very general level. You will have to dive deeper and figure out these are the debts, and I'm going to really work to cancel out these debts. Willingly, voluntarily, I want to give it back. Otherwise, life has its own way of snatching it from me. I don't want that kind of pain. Yeah, so give back. Find a way and give back. Clear? I might not be able to go too much in depth in this, but you got the gist of it. These are the deep sleep samskaras that are haunting you, that do not let you even stay in deep sleep for a long time. These are the samskaras that are bringing up dream after dream. These are the samskaras that are coming up in the waking. Yeah. In the terms of bodily disease, mental disease, unhappiness, everything is fine, but inside you're not feeling at peace. Recognize there is some debt that has not been paid back. Yeah, as this is a very pokey topic for the ego, I will stop here on the personal stuff, but you must do your own little exercise. We'll have a self-exploration on these lines next week. Yeah, but before next week, at least try to pay back 2 or 3 debts so that you can go deeper into that self-exploration and experience what it says at the end, where you feel free of that particular karmic debt. Yeah? Okay. So now this is deep sleep. I recognize that the deep sleep samskaras are because of this debt. And all these dream and waking perception, sensation, thoughts and feelings have come from the deep sleep reservoir. So they are made of avidya or ignorance. Clear? Know that you will have a big ignorance attack after this. Yeah, because Ekta spoke about payback. So ego is going to say, no, I did right. He was wrong. She is wrong. Don't get into that. That is also again another thought trying to pull you back. It's a Mara attack. Yeah? Become very alert, awake, aware. Mara is going to attack me. Stay at a distance knowing if the thought of that person came up, if the feeling of that situation came up, when Ekta was talking at such a general level, she doesn't even have any idea. If it came up in my memory, means there is payback that is due. Simple. Clear? So don't allow the ego to take you on another long ride. Be very aware, very aware. Yeah, it is samskara is made of ignorance. It comes from avidya tattva. Its job is to deceive me. My job is to remain alert and awake. Yeah. I will not forget my turyatita nature, and I will not identify with the projection. I will work on dodging karmic debt at 2 levels, primary and secondary. Okay. Moving on to verse 112. Deep sleep is the silence before the storm. Deep sleep dews are karmic impressions that lurk quietly subsurface like lava. One measure of impressions thrust out of deep sleep peace delivers karmic dews of 1 megacycle of dream to waking, back to dream, back to sleep. Yeah, we've discussed this before even at the retreats. Again and again, deep sleep's job is to throw out this karmic impressions. And how much comes out? That is 1 measure. And that 1 measure throws out some dreams, throws out all waking situations from morning 5-6 a.m. all the way to 11-12 in the night. Again, back to the dream, last few impressions, and back to deep sleep. Why is sleep counted? How much I am going to rest, how much peace I am going to get in that sleep. That is also today's measure. That is today's measure. You can see it in your own Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana. If you stand as a witness and you notice today's day was too many thoughts from the past, too many ugly feelings, lots of perceptions that were all about chaos and drama, you will notice sleep is also not very good today. It all came out together. So the restlessness of sleep is also a measure. So that is actually what is meant by the silence before the storm. That little rest that I got, yeah, that was the silence before this big stormy day that came out of it. And that stormy day began with the eye coming out of deep sleep, lots of dreams, lots of waking impressions, lots of dream impressions, and back to not such a good sleep. This is 1 mega cycle. 1 mega cycle. I don't call it a day because it doesn't make sense calling it a day. There's no day and night, and that is only limited to the waking. So once you start accepting that yes, these impressions are coming on a daily basis, and I have the choice of withdrawing. I'm just not withdrawing because I want to prove I am somebody. I must gather the courage to drop this. I don't want to prove I am somebody. I don't care if I am nobody. Stay at a distance. You will notice the waker disappears quickly. The dreamer disappears quickly. World disappears. Thought sensation disappears. Even the I, striving for personhood disappears. The debt that was there quickly gets exhausted. Why? Because I didn't create new karmic debt today. I stayed at a distance. So the causal debt that was there for today's measure, that got exhausted quite quickly. And I got better sleep. And the karmic impressions remain beneath that deep sleep surface. Remember that. And I get just a little bit rest before I am pushed out again. So become more and more aware. Deep sleep dews are awaiting manifestation. They just want to manifest as something, and they're not going to announce themselves. Yeah? Anger does not announce, I am coming now. Jealousy does not announce, I am coming now. Yeah, like that only. Passion does not announce, I am coming now. They do not reveal their future forms. They are quiet, they are latent, and they are just thrust out. Yeah, the more they are coming, recognize my avidya tattva is dominant, is very active. Yeah, so observe your own mega cycle. Homework for this verse. Observe your own mega cycle for today. You see how was the measure of impressions for today that were thrust out of deep sleep. You recognize how much karmic dues do I have? How much did I stay away and prevent the creation of new karmic accrual? And how many times did I slip in today? This is for you to really dive deep and do a good inquiry on. Become very clear. The moment impressions appear, a world appears, its job is to pull me. It wants me to assume I am this body. It wants me to act, defend, hate, love, fear, acquire. Its job is to pull me onto stage. My job is to remain off stage. I quit the performance. Yeah? I am not karmic material anymore. Then you'll see quickly waking dissolves into dream, dream quickly dissolves into sleep, sleep strengthens, becomes really long, restful. Before another movement begins, I get enough recharge, enough rest, so that I can maintain my Turiya stand. And the cycle will repeat again and again and again. Your job is to work on recognizing every cycle. Every cycle. Yeah. Again and again, new claims are made. Every day, new karmic debt. Yeah. So don't just seek peaceful waking state. No. Now you must mature. Don't try to seek pleasant dreams. Know that in pleasantness also there is karma hidden. Yeah, only the wrapper is of chocolate or this golden shiny wrapper. Inside is karmic debt. Yeah, I will accrue debt. Yeah, so don't just seek peaceful situations. Seek not getting trapped into anything in the waking, anything in the dream, or anything in the deep sleep. Yeah? Become very clear. Avidya Tattva is strong. I need to strengthen Vidya Tattva. Yeah? So, no fresh debt should be created. That is your goal going ahead. No impressions should be appropriated. Yeah, appropriated means falsely identified with I am this, I am that. Yeah? And let at least one mega cycle complete itself without a claimant. Claimant, the one who comes and claims this is I, this is me, this is mine. Yeah? No fresh debt, no impression appropriated, and at least one mega cycle can I complete before the next week without a claimant. Clear? Then you'll understand that there is a state where I can get to where a cycle never begins. That is Turyatita. Spiritual goal is only that, Turyatita, pure consciousness, primordial awareness, where a cycle never begins. Good. So I'll stop there. Hopefully the 4 verses are very clear. And you've graduated from the initial understanding of what karma is to 2 levels of karmic debt in every single indulgence. Do you recognize that? Do you recognize that deep sleep stores these impressions, and in my Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana I can recognize it? Do you recognize the pull and push now? That which you enjoyed being, now you want to dispassionately zoom away from. And finally, do you recognize that I have the power to withdraw from claiming this mega cycle as mine? Good. Okay. Any questions?